Hi guys, welcome back to another makeup video. Today we're doing an abstract makeup look inspired by the wonderful May Pang, who is Microsoft over on Instagram. I'll put the spelling of that on the screen here. I need to figure out a way to put the images that it's inspired by in the video. So if I figure it out, I'll put it here right now, but I don't think I'm going to be able to figure it out. So you'll just have to go look for yourselves. But it's getting a bit annoying because I feel like there's all these cool makeup looks and I want to show you the original before I recreate it. But instead I'm just telling you who does it anyway. This is, well, it's just a pretty abstract one. I was going to say it's simple, it's kind of not. And yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. We're just going to do a normal video today, no voiceover, just chatting through. And yeah, I was stuck between a few looks today. I always do this. I get stuck between a few looks to do, and then I never go back and do the other ones that I wanted to do because, by the time next week rolls around, I'm bored. So we'll see whether you ever get then. But yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So for today's makeup look, I'm taking a mix of Superstar face paints. And these are just water-based face paints because they're just easier to apply, easier to remove. Now, first step, we actually need to start by gluing down the brows. So I'm just going to go off camera and do that because it's a pretty boring step. Brows are glued down. I'm just going to take a concealer, this is just a Morphe one. I'm just going to put a quick layer of this over the brows just to lighten them a bit, which I made the mistake of dyeing them last night, not realising that I was gluing my brows down today. So that's why they're extra dark. And then I'm just going to take this brush, just put that in. And I'm not so bothered about the front of the brow because that is going to be covered with white already. It's more just the end of the brow, but also we're not doing any skin makeup underneath, so I don't want the brow to stand out too much. But as you can see, we've sort of just faded it. I'm not too bothered about it being non-existent. Like so. And we'll sort of figure out the colouring of it as we go along. So in the inspiration video, she applies tape in the shape that she needs on her face and then applies the white product. I am just going to freehand this sort of rectangular shape in the middle of the face because I don't have any like masking tape, which is probably ideally the best tape to use. And I can't be bothered to put sellotape on my face. Just taking that white face paint. I'm going to start with where to sketch out on the eyes. So I want to look forward. I'm going to go in line with sort of the outer edge of my pupil. So it's just the corner of the eye left out. And then we're just resembling that on the other side, and then we will go up onto the forehead as well. So basically it would have just been easier to do the method that we were shown on the inspiration, but it's fine, we've done it now. It's not perfect, it's not going to be perfect even with the tape because your face isn't a flat surface, so it's always going to be a bit lopsided. So now I'm just taking a bit of a bigger brush to fill it in, and I will go in with more of a foundation brush in a minute. I just want to get away from the edges. So So now we've got an even base down on that white, we're going to go in with some black detailing on the white. So this is going to be a lot of switching back and forth now because we're basically taking the black and we're copying the inspiration photo. I'm going to start on my cheeks and we sort of create like a curve on both cheeks the same to the edge. And then on the eyebrow, this little detail sort of goes from the forehead. So I'll show you now. And I'm going to start over here and I'm going to draw almost a semicircle like these but flatter. Oh, that's where we're starting it now. And then we're just creating like a squiggle for the brow all the way to the edge, which will then be continued. So we're going to take it one eye at a time because otherwise there's a lot of going back and forth. So next we're joining from that eyebrow. It's very difficult to explain because the whole look is basically based off of the inspiration photo. I'm going to start on this bit of the brow and I'm just bringing a neat line across to the nose. To about here, and then we're going to create a little circle loop over the nose and around and down. So, now following on from that nose bit still, I'm going to draw this as if it follows through and then follow the nose. You'll see what I'm doing as I do it. And then I also just realised this line needs to join to the lip, so we're going to carry on with that. We draw the lips. And then I'm going to join from this line to do a bit of eye work. And then the last bit of the eye, a bit more of that black. I'm just going to follow this line under here, down to here, and then I'll show you. And then we're creating another loop like the one we did here, underneath the eye. And then we are also going to draw lashes on that bottom one. Then we're just going to move on to the other eye. And then on the other eye, we're going to do the same with the eyebrow. I've also just added a few little dots around. So and then I just went in and did this line joining from the brow. Just had to copy it from the inspiration photo while I did it. And that's just going to follow straight to the edge. Just going to come under. And that is the black details on the white done. And now we're going to switch over to a white paint. And I'm just going to start by finishing the brows. So I'm going to start drawing in this circle. So we're going to create a circle over. So and then I'm going to draw in from this line. And we're going to come down. And we're going to come around and down and join it to this line. I had to find where I was then. And then we're going to also go out from this one, and I believe I'm going to bring that off the face because I'm not sure where it joins to. And then this little eye area, I'm just going to take from here and join them on a little U-turn. And then the eyelashes line will just come out and end. And I'll just do the little eyelashes. I'm going to come in here again and do the same. I think now I'm going to go in and add a tiny bit of shading underneath here, because that's also what she's done in the inspiration photo. I'm going to take my tiny brush with a bit of that black, just like a little flat brush, like so, and then final piece is to put some blusher on the cheeks. So I'm taking this Drop Dead Gorgeous Love It Psycho palette, which is BH Cosmetics, and there's just a very bright red shade in here, which we're going to use. I'm just going to take a small eyeshadow brush to start with. So taking that on there, and I'm really hoping that this sticks to this product, because it doesn't normally, which actually might be an issue. Wait, let me resolve that. So to resolve the fact that the eyeshadow won't sit on the water-based paint as well as it'll sit on the skin underneath, I'm going to take a bit of oil paint white and I'm just going to blob it exactly where we want this blush to go. It's only a little area, so it doesn't take much, whereas if you were trying to do eyeshadow, etc., on a whole look like this, you may want to use an oil base rather than a face painting base, because it's too dry for eyeshadow to stick to. Apply it where I want the blush, basically on the white, and hopefully that should work. Then we're going to take this, and we're just going to create like a little circle right here between the white and the skin. So you can already see how nicely that's blended on top. That would not have happened with the dry shadow. Like so, and then I'm just going to go in with a bit more of a darker bit in the middle, but the same shade but more opaque. Same on this side. Some solid colour. So guys, this is today's finished makeup. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll record a few clips to insert here now, and I'll see you back for the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this fun makeup look, and like I said, it is inspired. There will be many photos and videos of this over on my other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, which are all linked in the description box below, including my client social medias. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I hope you're all having a good week, and I will see you guys back here next week for another makeup video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.